Are you ready? You're with TheEZGZ, and this is about the death and resurrection of a 1776 single port. There's more to that line, which I will share with you at the end. Valve covers I had on it, the painted valve covers, the gasket popped on the bottom on both sides. I'll show you both of these. I took my magnets out and put them in the other one, but both of these I permatexed all along the bottom here, and evidently it just doesn't want to stick to that. I don't know if that's powder coat. It feels pretty slick. Doesn't look like anything was happening. What are we looking at down there? Getting on all four now. Stuff in there, some kind of flakes. There's a piece of something. Pull through the metal tin work. So I'm moving it around here into the run. The left one started leaking on the exhaust and was smoking, and then the right one was starting to weep a little bit. Get this powder coating off and put some different gaskets on. These I'm just throwing away. There's no relief valve. Look at all that garbage. I get upset. I get emotional. I have problems. But it's when I get lost in this broken, mixed up world. Yep, fell on the floor, fell off the table, cracked the case, junk. Look at that, it just pours out. So that thing's done. Hey, you're out in the garage with TheEZGZ. Isn't that a beautiful sight? And it is running so good. This is the final setup, and it is really running sweet. Unfortunately, there's going to be some unexpected delays because when in the process of getting this thing lifted up and pulling the table out, I forgot the battery was on the other side of the table, and it landed on the floor, broke a battery terminal, and the battery acid started just pouring out all over the floor. So now I've got to go to the store and get a different battery for the Baja, and that breaks my heart because that thing was like 3 months old. That's sad. But anyhow, shit happens, life goes on, and it's just one of the many things that I've had to deal with the culmination, the final product of this sweet little engine, and I think it's going to last and run really well. In this particular video, I'm just explaining to you what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna do this in reverse order. I'm gonna start with this video and the final outtake of the engine in its best tune, running the best that it has, to the point which you're looking at it right now. Then the following day, I'm gonna put go in regression, and I'm going to go backwards in the videos. So there's too many hours of videos to try to post up, and there's too many little pieces of information in each one of these. And to some people it might be disgusting to have to watch this engine run over and over and over in the progress, but I want you to see what actually was involved in getting it to this point. And in each video there's little tidbits in there and ideas, and it'll help some of you that are trying to build your channel, and there's quite a few of you that come here, and I try to get and watch some of your videos as well, and I know you're frustrated, as I always was. It takes years of constantly posting up videos, and then all of a sudden, once it kicks in and starts and people are looking for information and you put stuff up, it just sort of takes off. And I know you know, a lot of people don't realize what is involved in having one of these YouTube channels and having a lot of subscribers, because in the beginning it's just a matter of real casual. You pick up your camera and you go out in your garage and you show something that you're working on, and then all of a sudden you wonder, well, gosh, this is a great topic and it's a great thing that I discovered here and I'm doing. Why aren't I getting the views? And it takes time. You can't just put up one video every 3 months or so and expect to get this huge following. I never did understand why some people get frustrated. If you want to do that, that's fine, and don't have big expectations and you won't have big disappointments. But in something like this, this will be an example of what it takes later on down the road when you're having a channel, because people expect to wake up on Saturday morning and see a video from TheEZGZ, and I am trying really hard to oblige, and I look at the views and I look at the thumbs up and I read all of the comments and I try to find out what people want and give you what you want, and that's part of the whole thing here. So today is this video, and then tomorrow is going to be a step backwards, and then the next day will be a step backwards until we run out. I'll just keep every day posting a new video, and I don't expect everybody to watch every video all the way. You can fast forward through your videos when I get to talking about the same old thing. There was just too many times when I left things out, and then I came back out. There was too much to remember, and then I discovered things. I thought I had it running as good as it was going to run, and then all of a sudden I found something that made it run a little bit better. And I learned on this project, and I got some comments from people that gave me some ideas, and I like the interaction that you have with each other and that you have with me, and it's always helpful, and I appreciate all the input that I get from you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and we'll start with the last video first, and then tomorrow I should have something else for you, and there's going to be some commentary at different points that may offend some people, and I just say tough shitsinski. That's the way it is. If you want to unsubscribe, I understand. I respect that. I am who I am, and I am starting to reveal more about me and myself and what keeps me happy and what keeps me going and how I deal with things. And if you don't like that, then I guess you can not watch it. And that's all up to you, as it is with everything. It's all free. It's all fun. And let's get started. Thanks a lot. God bless y'all. Hey, it's a windy day in the TheEZGZ outdoor garage. Yeah, the wind is just whipping out there. And I want to get this battery out of here, put it back in the Baja, and get the tub buggy in here so we can stick this engine in there. I did my cam break-in yesterday. I just don't see the point of starting up an engine and running at a 2,500 RPM and put it on video for 20 minutes. So I went ahead and went through all that without you yesterday. Had a lot of little problems and stuff. I had leaky valve covers. Engine wouldn't run as smooth as I want, but in spite of all that stuff, you want to continue to run that engine at 2,500 RPM to make sure you get that cam and lifter break-in. Those surfaces have to wear together. They need heat, and they need RPM, and they need to be constantly washed with the oil as the whole process is taking place. I've been farting around with it today. I checked the valves, and I just could not get this thing to idle down the way I wanted to. And as it turned out, I wasted hours checking and messing around with things when my problem was these spark plug wires. They were used wires that came with the other one of my other cars, and I thought the red would match the dune buggy, so I went with those. And I think they were giving somebody else trouble, and that's why he wrapped them up and put them in his spare parts box, you know. But I'll tell you, low RPM, this thing just would not idle. It just was horrible. So it kept popping and snapping, and it was very frustrating. I'd have a cylinder that would completely shut down, and I'm doing an infrared scan on my exhaust system and stuff, and it's like, what happened now? And you got to watch these caps too, because they have this type of end, so you have to have the right tip on your spark plug. If you do the early style, you guys know all this stuff. I don't know why I have to show it. You got this kind of a cap that works with this one, and then if you're going to go with these type of Bosch plugs, you need the little wire. You need to take the cap off, and that fits down inside this end. And I was going to go with these, but they have such flimsy rubbers on them that I didn't think it would stay in the hole. Those work great on a dual port manifold, but I noticed on this single port, they're just sticking out here, so it didn't work out that well. So, yeah, I either had a crossfire situation or just bad resistance, and those are supposed to be the 8mm wires. I had these laying in a box. They're 7mm. The other ones were 8. They're, say, Bosch. I tried to do a resistance check with my meter, and I couldn't get anything. Zero. Nada. So it's like, okay, these are the resistor core maybe or something. So I just put them on anyhow, tried it up. Man, I noticed a big difference right off the bat. So let's fire it up. Hot wire to the coil, and we're gonna connect up my little pump here, my electric fuel pump. I hear it ticking right here. I had to also run a regulator on that thing. I was putting too much pressure in it. Can you hear me now? Well, those exhaust pipes sure shake at an idle, huh? I would think a balanced engine would be a little smoother than that. Progression is nice and smooth. Usually if you have that off idle bog, uh-oh, something came off. Boy, that thing just shut down now. Whew. Every time I try to make a video, something happens. What's going on here? Oh, I wonder if this came off of the black wire still connected. Boy, that thing just shut down right now. Oh, fuel pump quit. That shouldn't have shut off. Oh, that might have been what it was. No fuel. No fuel, no fun, right? Okay, what were we doing here? We were doing it slow. Do a hot rod start. Sounds okay to me. Doesn't appear to have that hesitation. I was surprised with the 009 distributor running a Toyota 22RE oil filter. Yeah, that baby's hot. Looking for my infrared gun here. Where are ya? You see my infrared gun? Oh, here we go. Yeah, boy, the valve covers were a nightmare. Those powder-coated valve covers suck. Absolutely, totally. Brand new, and they suck. and the bales don't want to stay tight. These things suck big time. And Permatex does not even come close to wanting to stick in there. A little magnet stuck. Looks like I got some little junk here on the end too. But yeah, let's see. 182, 188. Exhaust is 342, 360, 338. 199, well that's good. 204, 164. Oh, there it is. 342. 131 on valve cover. 146. 140. 147. 137, 61, 62, the temperature is 66, 111, 107, so there's some heat going into that manifold. Yeah. Thing was running horrible because of those spark plug wires. It sounds pretty happy right now. I like these oil bath air cleaners. I'll probably run the off-road air cleaner if I know I'm going to go up playing in the mountains for the day, a dry air cleaner. That way you're not bouncing around if you get at weird angles. But these are nice, cheap air cleaner. Change the oil, rinse them out, and put some more oil in it. Matter of fact, that oil that I ran, the 10W30 here, for 20 minutes to do the break-in, that would be a perfect thing to put in that air cleaner. And there's an oil fill line in there if you're not familiar with these. This is for the 1500 engine. And I suppose in addition to I don't know if it's that restrictive for 1776. It wouldn't be at an idle, but I was thinking maybe it's probably too cluttered. If I could run a tube down here and pick up some of that warm air that's coming off the cylinders, just like the stock car does. Yeah, you might pick up some road dirt, but it's just going in here, and that'd just be for running on paved streets. These things had a... Let's see. Well, let's watch it move. I've got it locked open now. Let's see what happens when I rev it, if it picks it up. What that's doing, it's diverting it from here to here. So this is wide open. That's your summertime mode. You got one on both sides. Little balance weight there. So at idle, you're definitely pulling warm air in. That's where you're going to have the most problem when you got a cold manifold, is at idle and low speed fog. My timing, I had to back off my timing a little bit. It was happier with a couple degrees less timing. And I know someone's going to ask again. I'm running a 65 idle jet. I think that's a little too high. I think a 55 would do better. I'm only open about a 3/4 of a turn, and the main jet is 130, which is, you know, 127 is usually what they came with around here, is what I see. And at this altitude, that's probably okay. But I got a 130 in there, and evidently I used this carburetor on something else. And I don't even remember that far back, but yeah, no knocking, and it sounds quiet, and I'll be running 10W30 oil. Somebody left a comment. I don't worry about zinc on that initial cam break-in. I don't give a rat's ass about that. I just put some cheap oil in there, run it for 20 minutes, and dump it. If that damn zinc additive or zinc oils are just more than I want to spend to run 20 minutes on something. Then afterwards I'll go ahead and I'll put that Lucas zinc additive. Where have I got some of that stuff? Right here, this stuff here, this is empty. Engine break-in oil additive. And what I'll do is I'll put half a quart of oil in the engine, and then I'll put in, you know, a half a bottle of this, and I'll shake it up real good. I'll mix it in, and then I keep adding it. Of course, on my initial startup, I go ahead and use a refrigeration pump and pump oil in where the sending unit goes. Oh yeah, the sending unit. Boy, that was a drippy son of a gun. I got it in there now, and what I did is I put an O-ring behind it because I couldn't get it to stop leaking, and it looked like it was going to bottom out. Those things are so scary. So it seems to be working now with the O-ring. I'll probably carry a couple extra with me. I had an idea since that worked. What did I do with my box of O-rings here? Had them around here someplace. Got my jet drills. I thought I'd be needing that. Oh, here they are. I got an assortment of metric O-rings. Let's shut this thing off. I don't know, even though it is music to our ears. We'll go ahead and shut that baby down. I need to put this battery in the Baja. Go to the grocery store. What I did was took an O-ring. I think it was this here, 8.6 millimeter by 2.4, and I just got this assortment here. I had one of these laying around to show you. Woohoo! I don't think I showed you this. Here was that. Here's all this junk that was in that. I cut that oil filter open. Look at all the junk that was in there. Yeah. And I had one of those little magnets from the valve cover. Look at all that thing. Woohoo! Glad I had this filter. And I had a stock screen. So that stuff went through the screen, went through the oil pump, and got trapped in this $2.97 filter. 97-cent filter. So you can see that circle. I put one of those little magnets and I was rolling this junk around it. I love the way that thing works. Watch. Here's one of these little magnets. They're very strong. We'll just stick it right here to the side and watch what happens. It's magic before your eyes. The TheEZGZ magnet. Now watch. We'll just kind of dump it back and forth. Ooh. Okay, now we'll roll it back. I don't know what that, you know what that is? That's that Parkerization that's on the camshaft. It's nitrous oxide coating that they put on there so it doesn't, you don't damage the surface of that. It kind of preserves it, protects it. You can see some of that stuff is sticking there. There was a big wad of it right there. Yep, just sticking it on the outside of your oil filter. I've got two of them on this oil filter, right on the bottom, right where you can't see them, out of the way. Maybe there's just one. Oh yeah, I took that other one off just to play with it, but yeah, I figured, you know, any stuff when the engine's shut off and everything settles at night, you know, give it some place to stick to rather than go up and clog up your filter media. It's not a very big filter, but you don't go no 6,000 mile oil changes on these things. That's for darn sure. So yeah, I got my new generator in. Got some place for all this crap. I got some freeze plugs coming. I got some other things coming. These valve covers were just a total nightmare. I spent a half a day messing around with those bales, and I said, I'm done with this. I went ahead and ordered some bolt-on aluminum valve covers. Over $100 for them. I hope they're everything I hope for, because the description kind of sounded like the same ones that I'm running on my sand rail over here, and these things just work beautiful. I don't know if you can see them in there, but yeah, since it's going to be hanging off the back of the tub buggy, give it a little extra bling, and hopefully they just won't leak. That's the main goal here, not having them leak. And they have big O-rings that go clear around, and there's a groove, so you can go with a stock cork. They're CSP, I think, is where I got them, is the name of them. So we'll see when they get here. I'll show them to you guys. But everything's going good here, looking good. And we're coming up here on Easter weekend, so we've got the death and resurrection of a Volkswagen engine, and we've also got Easter, which it's not about Easter eggs and Easter bunnies and chocolates, lots of chocolate. It's about the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And if you have ever written the date down, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I know that you're somewhat literate. So every time you write down the date, what does that date mean? 2019. What does that mean? I had a thought while I was in church the other day. I said, well, what is 2019? What if you're talking about ancient times? If you're talking about the pyramids, they give you, 1,000 years BC. What does that mean? AD, BC, means before Christ, and it means after death. And I think about any place on the planet that you would go right now, the planet Earth, they would say, what's the year? 2019. They don't think about 2019. Why isn't it some other kind of a number? The whole world recognizes that this individual, Jesus Christ, was on this earth. And I think that is a special and wonderful thing, whether they are aware of it or think about it or not. Every time you write down the date, you are acknowledging that an individual came down to this earth, died on the cross for your sins, was crucified and buried. And the day he rose again from the grave, it was an example that if we believe in him, we will live in eternity and we won't be trapped on this earth. Your life is worth something. You do have meaning. You are a beautiful person. And I love you. I love you for coming back here all the time and watching my trials and tribulations. There's some days I'm thinking that everything's going against me, but everybody has those days. And even back in biblical times, if you read the Bible, there was plenty of those days, bad days on the planet, for sure. But, from the time that Jesus came and rose from the dead to show us the way, I got nothing to worry about, and neither do you. Whether you want to believe in him or not, you do need to believe in him. I think that was the only requirement. Through Jesus Christ, believing in Jesus Christ, you will live forever as well. Yeah. Okay. There's my little Easter speech. And there might be one person. That might be a turn off for a bunch of you guys out there that are non-believers or believe in a different faith. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Whatever way works for you, but that's what I believe in. And there might be one lost soul out there who is inspired by hearing me talk like that. And I'm saying, it's Easter weekend. Hey, find a church in your area that looks interesting. Ain't nobody going to hurt you in there. And go and see what it feels like. And maybe God will speak to you and make your heart feel a little lighter. And you might go back. But, it's a lost and broken world. And you ain't going to get no help watching the news on TV. That's for sure. So, go to a church, get a Bible. You probably have one. Go to a motel. They have one on the dresser. At least I think they still do. Gideon's Bible. Yeah. Just open it up and start reading. Start at the beginning. That's not a bad spot. All right. Have a happy Easter, guys, and I'm happy with my happy engine. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. TheEZGZ out. Now don't forget to like and subscribe down there before you leave. Take care.